for Penn State right now, Ari. Let's talk about, because Drew Allar has been a lightning rod this season. And he's coming back. He's already announced it. I think he's coming back because he thinks he can be 1-1 in the 2026 draft. I think that, and then you hear people, oh, Drew Allar, he looks the part, but he doesn't play the part. We've seen him play the part in the Big Ten championship game, I think, but obviously Penn State's defense couldn't keep up with Oregon's offense in that game. Drew Allar against Boise State, he has a chance to help lead his team to the semis, help continue to build his reputation as a great Penn State quarterback, because I think right now he's not viewed through that lens, even though he could potentially take them farther than they've been in a long time. Let's look at his prize picks number for this game, this Boise State game. 225.5 passing yards. If you're not playing prize picks, download that app, use code Staples, play 5, get $50 instantly. We're talking about squares. You pick a square, and it can be a college football, NFL, NBA, darts, esports, you name it. You can mix and match sports. But we're talking college football. We're talking Fiesta Bowl right now. Drew Allar, 225.5 passing yards. You decide if it's going to be more or less. Ari, I don't even think he needs to hit this number for Penn State to win this particular game, because I think this is one where if you can control Ashton Genty on the other side of the ball to a point, or even let Ashton Genty score a couple touchdowns and gain 150 yards, you can win this game 23 to 14 or 23 to 17 and be fine.
Yeah. I think it's the Genty rushing total is going to be the story of this. It's like, is he going to go crazy, or is like, because Drew Allar played like crap last week and they didn't even sweat. So like this reliance on him to play this perfect game, they're going to need that, but they're going to need that in the next round. When they
here's the thing though. What if Genty's having a great game and it's close? Allar's going to have to make some big throws. Now, I think with Penn State, there's another guy we need to talk about on their offense, and that's Tyler Warren. He's a tight end in name only. He plays like 90 different positions. They feed Tyler Warren when they need it. You look at Tyler Warren's last 5 games, 33 receiving yards against SMU. They didn't need him because SMU kept handing him the ball. Against Oregon, they were feeding him. Against Minnesota, when they were in deep doo-doo, they were force feeding him. Like, if this game's close, your Tyler Warren 76.5 receiving yard number more than is probably the one you want to hit, because they're going to have to use him if this game's close.
Yeah, for sure. The thing that is interesting to me, and the one thing that we've kind of forgotten about since Penn State played a really good game against Oregon, is that at a certain point, they might get put in a position where a receiver needs to make a play, and I'm not sure they have good enough receivers. Like the game they played against Ohio State is burned into the frontal lobe of my brain. Right. And it's like Tyler Warren is an exceptional player. And I mean, I guess if he has one of those USC games where he just touches the ball 31 times and has 250 yards of offense, then he can win you a game. But if they get into a point where they need people to get space for chunk plays, like, I think they're going to have a lot of problems. So, like, they need to run the ball really efficiently. Drew Allar, I think, needs to run the ball himself very efficiently, because that's an aspect of his game, Andy, that you've seen kind of open up here the last few weeks. The ability to escape.
I think that's the part of the game. That's the part of his game that I think we probably underestimated. And when he is scrambling, keeping drives alive with his feet, he's a much more dangerous quarterback. He's a good athlete.
Yeah. For sure. So like, I'm kind of confused with Penn State, because on one hand, it's like, oh yeah, they've got Drew Allar who's peaking at the right time. They've got, Tyler Warren. They've got a really good defensive line and really great running backs. And it's like, if they put this thing together, they could go to the title game and dare I say, maybe even win it. But then on the other hand, it's like, are they really deficient? And is that deficiency going to be exposed on the biggest stage? Like, I don't know which one it is. So, but for me, like, I was just like looking up first round money difference between 1-1 and like number 15. or number
Yeah.
9. It's
Yep.
dramatic. So if that's
So
what
this
your
is
goal
why he's doing this.
it's
Yeah.
41 million, I think, for number 1 overall and 22 for 15.
Wow.
So, like, again, and if you can bridge the gap and get a few $1 million, I guess, in NIL, you take that risk. I don't know, but I feel like it's bizarre that he's coming back.
I just think of all the ones, and we can get into the Todd McShay, Carson Beck discussion too, but of all the ones that could improve themselves next year, like if Drew Allar gets some receivers that are dangerous, that scare you, his numbers could be crazy. Like I love the way Andy Kotelnicki calls this offense. I just don't. I think they're limited in what they can do. And Tyler Warren's great, but if you have just traditionally good receivers with this quarterback and the level of offensive line play they've been able to maintain under Phil Troutwine, who's their line coach, like Drew Allar could put up monster numbers, but specifically tonight, he doesn't have to. So as you're choosing your prize pick squares, remember that. He doesn't have to light it up for them to win. Download Prize Picks app. Use the code Staples when you sign up. Play $5, get $50 instantly.